الحمد لله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق وخاتم لما سبق نصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Alhamdulillah, thank you for joining our weekly Ruhu Adab class. This is a session that we do on every Thursday where we are going over the great text, the great epic poem by Shaykh Ibrahim Inyas called Ruhu Adab, the Spirit of Good Morals, written by Shaykh Ibrahim Inyas in 1920. And this is, although it is his earliest text, this is understood as one of his greatest texts that encompasses everything that a disciple would need to know on the path of knowing God and gaining intimacy with God, and how to perfect one's manners with God, but also how to perfect one's manner with their teacher, with their brother and sister, with the human beings, with the creation altogether. And we have the honor of engaging this text that has been translated by Shaykh Mahy Cisse, and we have radiallahu an and his brother and our Shaykh Mahy Cisse, going over this text with us. That's a blessing from Allah Ta'ala. It's a blessing from Allah Ta'ala. And going over the text of their grandfather, Shaykh Ibrahim Inyas, radiallahu an. This is brought to you by the Ruhu Adab group, which is an online spiritual community where we engage in communal shared dhikr and remembrances, also sharing information about the spiritual path, also companionship, also khatim of Quran, reciting the Quran together, among other things, and raising hadiyah, raising gifts, and raising support for other people in financial need. Also, this is brought to you by Nasrul Ilm, and I am a board member of Nasrul Ilm. And Nasrul Ilm is a philanthropic organization that invests in spreading knowledge and in taking care of people's practical needs of food, clothing, and shelter for people in the United States and around the world. Also, this is brought to you by Feda Books. Feda Books have published and presented so many great books from the path, the Sufi path, the path of Tariqa Tijaniya. And the book that we're taking from Ruhu Adab is published by Feda Books, among others. You can find those various titles at fedabooks.com. I'm only coming here to address you now to say that we are going to postpone our session. Shaykh Mahy is predisposed, and the community really is predisposed, as we have learned that Yafatu, the mother of Shaykh Mahy Cisse, the mother of Imam Shaykh Tijani Cisse, the mother of Shaykh Hassan Cisse, the daughter of Shaykh Ibrahim Inyas, radiallahu an, the wife of Sayyidi Ali Cisse. This one, she is returned to Allah, and the community has put her in her final resting place with her son, Shaykh Hassan Cisse, radiallahu an, and we pray they enjoy a beautiful reunion, and we hope also to be joined with them, and for us to have a good end, and us to have a good life, as she did, filled with worshiping Allah, reciting, teaching, and living the Quran, sending prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, guiding people on the path of Allah Ta'ala, giving birth to the greatest man, married to the greatest man, the daughter of the greatest spiritual guides that this century has to offer. And she was a spiritual master in and of herself. And so we, alhamdulillah, um, Shaykh Mahy is just not even 24 hours ago buried his mother, radiallahu anha, and there are many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have come from around the world to be to witness her burial. And out of respect for her and out of respect for her passing, we're going to, of course, not ask Sheikh Mahi to hold the class. And furthermore, we are going to postpone the class and let this be as a reminder to all of us that the most common thing in life is death. And people like this, they never took it for granted, and they took advantage of each of their breaths to remember Allah or to remind about Allah. And we hope to take this as a reminder for ourselves and a refresher for ourselves to commit ourselves to Allah and the work of Allah Ta'ala, such that we may return to Him smiling, and Allah to witness us, and for His gaze of pleasure to descend upon us. This is worth everything in this world, for when we are in that state, we will forget everything about this world, as far as its importance and its gravity, that we will be reminded of the truth when we are standing before the truth and gazing upon the truth. And then everything other than the truth will disappear like a shadow under the light, vanish into sheer nothingness. Why? Because it was nothing in the first place. But in this time that we have occupying these bodies, we often forget. It's easy to forget, to be lulled into the sleep of matter. But what matters, the lowest form of existence, and what we have and what we are, is much greater than that, transcends beyond that. And so we hope that we honor this reality and we have good manners or good adab, as the Ruh Adab states, that we have good adab with ourselves, that our self is greater than matter, and that this true self will return back to Allah Ta'ala, and is returning back to Allah. Say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilahi raji'un. Not just that we are from Allah, surely we are from Allah, and to Allah we return. But that's like the present progressive, that we're from Allah and we're returning to Allah. That no, as soon as the baby is pulled from the mother, as soon as the baby comes out of the mother, it is starting its step-by-step march towards its inevitable end. And so we are every breath, every step, returning to Allah. And in truth, we never leave Allah. In truth, we never leave Allah. But for the sake of the context of talking about life and death, that we start a march that we know for sure, whether a person is Tijani or, Shadili or Christian or Jew or atheist or agnostic or Buddhist or Hindu, everyone agrees that this body is gonna finish and we're going to die. And so the only thing that's agreed upon, where there's ijma across all of our species, is that we're certainly going to die. And so knowing that this is our inevitable march, that we take good care. And this is what we learn from Ruh Adab. And this is what we learn from the author of Ruh Adab. And this is what we learn from the daughter of the author of Ruh Adab. And this is what we learn from the grandsons of the author of Ruh Adab. And we pray that we benefit. So inshallah, we will return next week, inshallah, Thursday at 5 o'clock. Please pardon us for being a little late today. But everyone is doing many things with this news. Everyone has some new responsibilities. And so we ask that Allah bless you. We ask that Allah keep you near to him and keep you in the remembrance of him and keep you in serving his creation beautifully for his sake. Please forgive us, and we pray to see you next week. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الصراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق وخاتم لما سبق نصر حق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق وخاتم لما سبق نصر حق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق وخاتم لما سبق نصر حق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Please keep Ya Fatima Zahra and Yas, and I'll be well pleased with her. Keep her in your dua. Recite Quran for her. Send prayers to the Prophet in her honor, and do some good work on her behalf. And may Allah accept from all of us. Assalamu alaikum.